Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. How are you doing this evening, Ted?
Well, I'm celebrating Father's Day every day. In fact, I'm celebrating Mother's Day and Veterans Day and Thanksgiving and Independence Day every day, Keith. God bless everybody out there that's celebrating truth, logic, and common sense on the Nightly Nuge. I adore people in the asset column. Critical thinking, that's the battle cry of the Nightly Nuge. So thank you and Josh and Tim and everybody that's making this happen, Keith.
Thanks, Ted. But we had a insurrection in our nation's capital again. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
Well, this was a bizarre security breach at the U.S. Capitol. The Late Show team came to interview 3 House Democrats, including Adam Schiff. And then they came back to the Capitol complex later on Thursday night, and they were caught in the building after hours. Now, CBS says the production team came to Capitol Hill to do interviews for a segment with Triumph, the insult comedy dog. They interviewed 2 members of the 1-6 committee Thursday morning, Adam Schiff and Stephanie Murphy, also non-committee member Jake Auchincloss of Massachusetts. They were denied press credentials to cover the 1-6 committee hearing by the House Radio TV Gallery because they are comedy and not press. But they came back later that day. They were let in by an aide to Auchincloss. Police arrested the 7 around 8:30 p.m. on Thursday in the Longworth building. They did not have an escort. They were charged with unlawful entry.
The Stephen Colbert team, his staffers, were in the Capitol office building, unauthorized, after hours, without official permission. Is there going to be a 1-6 commission for that?
Well, I've seen Lady Justice recently, and she doesn't just have a blindfold on. She's been decapitated. It is just another manifestation of cultural abandonment in this once great experiment in self-government. There are clearly defined lines between liberal law enforcement and conservative law enforcement. So I'm well aware of this. But once again, Keith, the Nightly Nuge isn't about yelling fire, 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 that your barn is on fire. The Nightly Nuge, and my friends everywhere, my band, my crew, everybody in my life, we don't just yell fire more than once. We grab the hose and go to put it out. So my friends, if you're not letting your elected employees know how offended you are at the duplicitous justice enforcement out there, then my God, you've got to start hammering and again, I'm going to go right to the mayor, the senator, the congressman, the governor, your chief of police, your sheriff, your state trooper commander. If we are not expressing the embarrassment of 2 codes of justice in this country based on politics, then we're actually throwing gas on the fire instead of putting the flames out.
On the J6 commission is Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff is talking about what happened at the Capitol on January 6th was akin to Pearl Harbor, and he's going on and on. What are we doing up there?
We know that Adam Schiff is a horrible, horrible, dishonest man, literally putting quotes around words attributed them to Donald Trump that never were uttered by Donald Trump. And he did it before Congress. So people, it's up to us. Engage, communicate. Now is the time to spotlight those cockroaches and eventually stomp them.
You know what, Ted? I don't think the information is getting out there because mainstream media is not covering this. But those people that were in or around the Capitol that are in the dungeons in Washington, D.C. have been in solitary confinement for 18 months for unauthorized entry into the Capitol. The Stephen Colbert team, Ted, were immediately released, and they're not in any dungeon, let alone for 18 months. How can this possibly be in the United States of America, Ted?
Because too many conservatives have bent over. Too many conservatives have disengaged. Too many conservatives have never even been engaged. We found out through hunternation.org. My friends, everybody says, what do we do? What do we do? Join me at hunternation.org. I don't want anything from you. What I want is an experiment in self-government based on the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights for my children and my grandchildren. So please join us at hunternation.org because we can identify the violations, the criminality, the abuse of power that run amok every day in our lives. And this is another example where conservatives are hung out to dry. And liberals, if you're on the left side, the Democrat, Marxist, socialist, liberal side, literally you get the Democrats will pay for your bail. So there are two justice systems in America, and it makes me very, very angry.
Well, you know what, Ted? Tomorrow, I want to talk to you about all these fires that are going on in these food processing plants, some of the food shortages, certainly the high prices that are going around, and get your take as to maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. So how about that tomorrow night, Ted?
I'm ready to rock because I have no food shortages. I killed a lot of deer last year, a lot of squirrels, a lot of ducks, a lot of pheasant, a lot of doves, a lot of rabbits. So I'm in good shape. So I'm going to try to share that with my friends out there for rugged individualism and independence. It's the hunting lifestyle. I promise you, that's the answer.
Come back tomorrow night. We'll have some more of the Nightly Nooch.